99, 100. Woo! Fourth graders, welcome back. As you know, my name is Mrs. Lawson, and I'm always excited that you're here with me. And I have been so excited to share this story with you because we're learning all kinds of stuff today. So for our learning intention, we are learning to use details and examples from the text to explain our understanding of important concepts in the text. We know we are successful when we can identify important concepts in the text, so go back and find those important ideas. Then we're going to use details and examples from the text to support our answers. For our foundational skill today, we're going to read the story, The Buzz About Honey. And the focus today is on synonyms and antonyms. There's going to be a bunch of different pairs in the story. We've got ancient and modern. So you got to figure out, are those the same? Are they opposite? And you really want to get those words right while you're reading. And then you're going to listen to yourself after you're done and see how you did. Then let's look at this vocabulary. See, I was doing this right when we started today because we've learned about how the muscle contracts to pull your bone, right? But we haven't learned about the tendon yet, which is that stringy piece that brings them together. So the tendon is this yellow string-like thing right here, and it's a tough stringy cord that attaches your muscle to your bone. Pretty cool stuff. Now, for your other vocabulary word that you need to figure out is this grass that we're rolling out. And then if a hip bone becomes diseased, it can be replaced with an artificial joint made of metal. So what could artificial mean? We've got this grass we're rolling out, and we got an artificial joint. Yeah, I heard somebody say it. Great job. Artificial means made by humans instead of being made naturally. So today we're going to start with how joints move, and we have a stop sign right off the bat. So it says, what visual evidence, so what pictures, does the author include to support the point that the hip is a ball and socket joint that can be replaced if necessary? All right, now that we have that arrow ready, how joints move. Joints move in many different ways. Some joints work like a hinge. Bend your knee to see this in action. Others, such as the shoulder, let you make movements in many directions. So make sure you stop right here and try and use the knee and your shoulders to see how this works. Ball and socket. Your hip and shoulder are examples of ball and socket joints. One bone rotates just like a ball that is inside a cup-like socket formed by another bone. Ball and socket joints are the most movable of all joints. Hinges and pivots. The knee, elbow, finger, and toes contain hinge joints. These move backwards and forwards in only one direction. The elbow always also contains a pivot joint, which lets you turn your hand over and then back again. Pretty cool stuff. So we can go like this. Down here it says if a hip joint becomes diseased, it can be replaced with an artificial joint made out of metal. A ball and socket joint is in each shoulder. So we're going to see that in the next picture. And then our info lab over here, it says people with double joints do not have extra joints. They are just more flexible. Every step you take involves the 33 joints in each of your foot. In some of the ankle and wrist joints, the bone glides over each. So when we look at this visual down here, what about it supports that the hip, this ball and socket joint, can be replaced if necessary? Well, it's saying right here, that word that we just learned, artificial, is this red. It's shown in red. So this is actually made by a person, and they had to replace the hip that was already in there. So this visual is supporting that, hey, your body can have one that's made by man that you had to replace what was in your body already. And then this is just your normal hip that was already there. So that is how that supports it. So, what text evidence does the author provide to support a point about foot joints and walking? I'm going to challenge you to pause the video and find that. Look back in the text and find where was the author talking about foot joints and walking. Yes, I'm hearing a few of you talk about it. So let's see. Down here, if you read this info lab, pause it and read through those. It says every step you take involves 33 joints in each of your feet. So that is the text evidence that supports the point that foot joints go with walking. All right, so now we're over here. So it pointed to her shoulder. Ooh, and it shows us little visuals of each of the joints. The saddle joint is only found in your hands. The pivot point at the top of the spine allows the head to turn. This performer can twist and turn her body into this shape because she has very flexible joints. So we're going to read about thumb power. The saddle joint is found at the base of the thumb. This joint lets you move each thumb in a wide circle. Along with your fingers, your thumb helps you grip objects in your hand. Flexibility. Imagine being able to put your feet behind your ears. Some people have extremely flexible joints, so they can bend their bodies into unusual and extreme positions. So here's that hinge joint in your knee, and the body has several different types of joints. Each one allows a different movement from bending a knee to moving an arm in a circle. Bendable body parts. Oh my gosh, this sticks out to me, this kid's nose. Try folding your ear forward. I can do it. They should bend easily and then spring when you let go. This happens because they are made of flexible tissue called cartilage. Your nose and voice box, which is the bumpy part in your neck, also contains cartilage. On the nose. Your nose is made of several pieces of cartilage. They form the sides of your nose and give your nostrils their shape. A central piece of cartilage called the septum divides the inside of the nose into two chambers. That's this little guy in the middle. Down here it says cartilage is soft enough for an earring to be pierced through it. And then up here it says the upper part of the nose is made of hard bone. Plates of cartilage, gray, form the rest. Oh. So then in this picture it says, taken with a microscope, you can see a layer of cartilage, green, surrounded by skin. The holes contain cells that make cartilage. And then there's cartilage in your wrist, it looks like. You can wiggle your nose from side to side and squish it out of shape because the sides and lower parts are made of cartilage. Oh, so look, this is like growing. So it looks like there is cartilage here right now. I misread that, in a 2-year-old child. And then it's kind of getting smaller, and then look, it turns to bone. So these x-rays show a hand at different stages of development. By the time adulthood is reached, the cartilage lighter area has been replaced by bone, which is blue. Growth and repair. Cartilage is easily damaged, especially in the knee joints. Many athletes have to retire because of cartilage injury. But scientists are now able to grow new cartilage in laboratories, giving hope to injured athletes. That's pretty cool. Soft skeleton. For the first 6 weeks, a baby developing in its mother's womb has a skeleton made of cartilage. Cartilage is softer and more flexible than bone and grows and changes more quickly. Cartilage into bone. In young children, the bones still contain large areas of cartilage in between more rigid bone. These pieces of cartilage are called growth plates because they let bones grow. Over time, most cartilage is replaced by bone. So up here in this info lab, my favorite part is the kind of facts that they give us. So the breastbone cartilage does not turn to bone until at least the age of 40. The larynx or voice box is also known as the Adam's apple in men. The folds of your ear, which are made of cartilage, help the ear catch sound. Pretty interesting stuff. Ooh, so I love this. This is so cool because it's all about muscles. And I love how that kid, everybody show me your muscles on there. Oh yeah, look at those strong fourth graders. Muscles that get you moving. Without muscles, you would not be able to scratch your head, open a door, or turn a single page of this book. The muscles you use for these and most other movements are joined to the bones. Muscles work by pulling on the bones. Under the skin, there are 650 muscles in your body that you can control and move. This type of muscle, called skeletal muscle, is connected firmly to the bones by tough string-like cords. These cords are the tendons. So if we look at this picture right here, it says, underneath your skin are hundreds of overlapping muscles. Most are attached to your skeleton. So we can see all these muscles. It says the thigh muscle strains the knee. This muscle twists the body. Chest muscles pull the arm forward. Ooh, these muscles wrinkle your face, your forehead. Down here it says, muscle is made from long muscle cells called fibers, packed together in bundles. So over here, they're packed together in bundles. Under a microscope, these fibers look striped almost. Yeah, they totally do. Super cool. Oop, here's the back. The trapezius muscle pulls the head and shoulders back. So right here, it's called your traps too. The deltoid muscle raises the arm. Over here, how muscles work. Oh my gosh, there's a stop sign. Nobody stopped me. I didn't hear you. Next time you gotta yell. What textual evidence does the author provide to support a point about muscle contraction? Describe the process using your own words. So we're gonna look for contracting muscles. Muscles move the body because they are attached to the skeleton. When a muscle contracts, it gets shorter and pulls on a bone. Try bending an arm. If you put your hand on the upper part of your arm, you should feel the muscles become fatter as it gets shorter. The muscle pairs. The muscles we use for movement are controlled and coordinated by the brain. Most muscles work in pairs. One pulls in one direction and the other pulls in the opposite direction. Down here it says the bicep muscles near the front of each upper arm bends the arm up at the elbow. The triceps at the back straighten out the arm. So if we go back in the text, what evidence does the author provide about muscle contraction? So it's kind of in this area, it seemed like. It said when a muscle contracts, it gets shorter. And the evidence or the examples that they gave is for us to do it ourselves. They said, try bending your arm and see if you can put your arm here and feel that muscle. And then they wanted you to explain that after you felt it yourself. So let's see if you can explain it to me. I'll let you work a little bit on that. So pause the video if you need more time, and then tell me what you got. All right, you guys are killing it, doing amazing. As always, I'm so proud of you, so proud. So your reading response for today is based on evidence in the text. How do muscles work in pairs? So go back in that story and explain to me, how do muscles work together? You're doing awesome. Keep it up. Have a great rest of your day, fourth graders. Bye.